Welcome to Sci-Fi Stories. If you love stories of courage and mystery, make sure to subscribe and join our growing community.
The planet they said was empty. The planet XYRR was officially classified as non-sustaining. No arable soil. No stable ecosystems. No viable food chains. And absolutely no edible biomass. That was what the Galactic Survey had concluded. So when the Interstellar Academy dropped a mixed-species survival class onto its rust-colored plains, it was supposed to be a lesson in restraint. Instructor Karl of the Thraxian Dominion stood tall, his crystalline exoskeleton refracting the pale sunlight like shattered glass. "You will survive 72 cycles," he declared. "You will ration your supplies. You will endure hunger." His four-facete eyes shifted toward the three humans standing quietly at the rear. "And you will learn your limits." The class dispersed. Most species immediately constructed sealed nutrient shelters. Portable paste rations were inventoried carefully. Water recyclers were activated. The humans? They walked away from the landing site. Day 1. Cadet Myra Alvarez knelt near a cracked ravine wall, scraping reddish moss into a container. "Smells like iron," she muttered. Beside her, Jonah Pierce was turning over stones. "Found beetle analogs," he called. "Exoskeleton's tough. Probably needs roasting." Third human, Ashok Patel, was testing soil texture. "Salt deposits here," he said. "If there's salt, there was water. If there was water, there's life." Instructor Karl watched from a ridge, mandibles twitching in irritation. They were wasting energy. There was nothing edible here. Nothing. Night 1. A thin column of smoke rose into the violet sky. Karl marched toward it. The humans had built a fire pit lined with flat stones. Something sizzled. "Explain yourselves," Karl demanded. Myra smiled, ash streaked across her cheek. "Dinner, sir." Jonah held up a skewer of roasted beetles. "High protein. Shell cracks after heat exposure." Ashok poured steaming liquid from a carved stone bowl. "Moss infusion. Boiled twice to break down toxins." Karl's internal chemistry spiked in disbelief. The survey confirmed alkaloid presence across all native flora. Myra shrugged. "Yeah. But alkaloids break down under sustained heat. Humans figured that out a few thousand years ago." Jonah added casually, "We tested microdoses first. Skin contact. Then lips. Then tiny ingestion. No paralysis, no organ stress." Karl stared. "You performed toxin trials on yourselves." Ashok grinned. "Welcome to Earth evolution." Day 2. By morning, the impossible had happened. The humans had identified 5 edible plant variants, located a mineral seep producing drinkable water, constructed a primitive solar dehydrator, mapped insect nesting zones. Other cadets began noticing. A Lit-Harry trainee approached cautiously. "You are eating?" "Yes," Myra replied, handing over a roasted root slice. "Try it." The Lit-Harry hesitated. Then tasted. Its bioluminescent markings flickered bright turquoise. Pleasure response. Word spread fast. Soon the barren ravine became a marketplace of ideas. Humans teaching alien cadets how to distinguish clear sap from toxic latex, how to roast exoskeletal organisms, how to grind dried moss into flour substitute. Karl watched in something unfamiliar. It was not anger. It was not confusion. It was recalibration. The confrontation. On the second evening, Karl approached openly. "You have catalogued how many viable food sources?" he demanded. Ashok consulted a scratched datapad. 41 distinct meal combinations so far." "Meal combinations?" Karl echoed. Jonah nodded. "Different prep styles change digestibility." Myra handed Karl a steaming bowl. Salted root stew. Beetle crumble garnish. Moss flatbread on the side. This world was declared non-sustaining, Karel said. Myra's expression softened. Sir, with respect, it's only non-sustaining if you don't adapt. Silence stretched between them. Karel slowly tasted the stew. His crystalline plating shimmered a deep gold. Flavor. Complex. Balanced. Nutritive. Impossible. The lesson. Why? Karel finally asked. You had enough rations. Why risk yourselves? Ashok answered quietly. Because survival isn't just about lasting 3 days. Jonah added, it's about turning 3 days into something better. Myra met the instructor's gaze. Humans evolved on a death world. Ice ages. Volcanoes. Droughts. Predators. We survived by asking one question. She leaned forward slightly. What else can this become? Day 3. When the retrieval shuttle descended, the pilot blinked in confusion. Instead of weakened cadets, he saw a structured settlement. Shared food storage. Multi-species communal cooking. Laughter echoing across stone cliffs. Karel stood beside the humans. In his claws was a revised training directive. New classification for XYRR. Latent sustainable environment. Requires adaptive cognition. He added a final note. Never inform a human that something is impossible. As the shuttle lifted off, the humans remained behind a moment longer, packing dried moss bread for the journey. Jonah smirked. Think they'll let us come back? Myra grinned. Next time we'll hit 50 recipes. And below them, planet once labeled empty felt a little less alone. Because humans don't just survive hostile worlds. They rewrite their definitions.